That was on Apocalypse Now. We had three little. We were in a little sort of lake by the river where we were filming, and Charlie, Martin and Janet Sheen, and the three kids, Irene and Martin,
Emilio and Charlie.
Emilio and Charlie. We're all in this little house, and then next door I was with my girlfriend, and then next to me was Marlon Brando.
Pretty salty house.
Yeah.
Neighborhood.
Not bad neighborhood. Yeah. Just gonna grab some milk real quick. Yeah.
And Brando showed up late. I mean, he didn't work for the first few months. And I had it was miserable because it was very humid and sticky and uncomfortable and no air conditioning and terrible food and bugs and matter of fact, we hired our own chef and brought in our own freezers and set up our own kitchen, and it was still bad. I lost so much weight. And I remember one time I said, I'm just going to have a salad. And I'm sitting down, and the lettuce started moving. It was a bug moving. And I said, that's it. So I went home and I had Chef Boyardee. Remember those?
Of course.
I got the can, and I start opening the can, and bugs come crawling out of the thing, out of a sealed can. How they get in there? I don't know. So that's what we were dealing with. It was very unpleasant. But we got to about once a month, we get R&R in Hong Kong. And we get on, it was like an hour flight, and we fly to Hong Kong and stay at the Peninsula Hotel with wonderful hot baths and clean sheets. And right downstairs in the lobby was a See's candy store. And See's chocolates are my favorite. And so I would buy 2 or 3 boxes of See's and bring them back, and then I would ration them off to myself. I'd keep them in the refrigerator, and everybody knew, don't touch Gray's See's, because you can't, on the next trip, there was no way of, and so every night I'd have one piece. I'd say, should I have a second? It was like, it was heaven, having this chocolate. And Marlon Brando had just arrived, and we were friends because we'd done The Godfather, and we'd worked together on a movie years before called Candy. And so I had known him from that. And so I guess if he likes anybody, he liked me. He was always nice to me. I came home, and Wednesday night, they had a show called Rich Man, Poor Man, TV series. Nick Nolte on TV. And I would go home, and I'd get on my bed, and I'd watch Rich Man, Poor Man, and I could have a See's candy. So I came home, and I walk in the bedroom, and there is Marlon Brando and my girlfriend sitting at the foot of the bed playing backgammon. And he's this big, and he's eating my See's candy.
The biggest insult.
By the handful.
Yeah, not a piece at a time.
And I said, show some balls. Tell this guy, get the hell out of my house. I said, it's Marlon Brando. I can't do it. But yeah, the boys next door used to come over and peek through the window and try to catch Barbara, my girlfriend, coming out of the shower or something. And one morning I got a knock on the door, and it was Janet. And she said, this is unacceptable. You got to come with me. I said, it's Sunday morning, Janet. Come with me. So we get in the car and we drive down to the set of the temple. It's the big temple for the finale of the movie, where Marlon Brando is and all of his people are. And we walk in, and it's a garbage dump. And what the art department had done is they had gotten the garbage trucks in Manila to come out and dump all the trash on the set, because he said it wanted to be authentic and have the feel of just being.
And the smell. The smell was terrible.
It was terrible. It was like a garbage. And she said, "There's rats running. This is not healthy. I'm not going to let Marnie work here tomorrow." So I had to get hold of the production designer, bring him in. I said, "We got to clean it up." So we hired a bunch of guys in trucks, and they came in and started cleaning it up. When they were doing that, the prop guy said to the production designer, "Should we tell him about the bodies?" And I said, whoa, 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 whoa. What bodies? Never mind, I know them. They had found a guy in Manila who said he could give them bodies, that he delivered bodies to medical schools for cadavers. He said, I'll just bring them out for you guys. So they took me into this tent, and there's like 15 just gray, dead cadavers laying. I said, we can't have dead bodies. And I said, Francis, you know about these bodies? No, I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, bodies.
He knew about it.
I'm only the director. What do I know about awesome-looking bodies?
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's so lifelike. Yeah, I'm sure.
So the military shows up because they found out.
Right.
And they said, this guy was robbing graves. He wasn't selling it. He's in jail. And he said, and also, how do we know you didn't have these people killed? They took our passports. I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm never leaving the Philippines. I'm here forever because of these bodies.
Wow.
It took about a week or so to get it sorted out. Every time I was wondering if I was ever going to be able to leave the Philippines.
Well, so there's a story in the book, Anoki and a Ferrari, I believe, that talks about you had taught water skiing early on in your career to someone in Spain who ended up being helpful for the Valkyrie scene. Isn't that right?
He was actually my roommate.
Oh, okay.
Well, my roommate was a Russian prince in Switzerland. And we shared a little house, and his best friend was Juan Carlos, and Juan Carlos used to hang out with us, and Juan Carlos, another Italian count, Giovanni Volpi, all these, I was with all these jet set people in Lausanne, Switzerland, going to school. I couldn't even speak French when I first arrived there, but I got to know them all because of water skiing, and that was just taking off in Europe, water skiing, and they were all the wealthy jet set royalty. They were all buying these very expensive, beautiful boats and all learning to water. So you had to be rich, and they had a water ski club, and so I would go down and hang out at the water ski club and just, have a Coke and watch them all water ski. And one day when I was done, I said, would you like to come on the boat with us? Someone said, well, would you like to ski? I said, yeah. And I'm skiing barefoot and backwards and on one ski and
doing the spins and everything.
And all of a sudden I was their best friend.
And
that's how I got to meet all these skiers.
Yeah.
So when we were in the Philippines trying to get the helicopters, I was there for like 3 weeks. I get past this Minister of Tourism to the Minister of Defense to the Minister. Couldn't get anywhere. I was getting lots of runaround, lots of stories. And I ran into Giovanni Volpi, the guy who was partners with Juan Carlos and Zhu, my Russian friend. And he said, what are you doing? I said, well, we're making a movie. And he had heard of me. He remembered I'd done The Godfather. And so he said, well, come with me for dinner tonight. And I go out to meet him, and there's these cars with flags up on the front fender. Whoa, this is... And we go to the Marcos's house, and go in there, have this big dinner with a turkey and a ham and all roast beef, and there's about 10, 15 people. Marcos and Imelda over there. And about halfway through dinner, Giovanni said, Gray did The Godfather, and they're here, and they want to do a movie here in your country, and they need some helicopters. Who's he talk to? He said, talk to this guy, and he hands me a piece of paper. The guys called me the first thing in the morning. He said, whatever you need. That's how we got the helicopters.
And that's how you produce Apocalypse Now.
That's how it works over there. That somebody you know.
That's how it works everywhere. That's how it works.
Right.
But none of their helicopters flew. They're all broken down. And so we had to go to Bell Helicopter in Fort Worth. And we brought guys over, mechanics, and send it over parts. As soon as we get one of their helicopters working, it would take off to go fight the war down in Mindanao. And so we were having a hard time keeping
Yeah.
those helicopters. But we got their whole Air Force up and running.
That's why he wanted
For
to
the
meet.
cost
That's
of
why he
one
wanted to speak
classic
to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, I'll call you tomorrow and you'll build my army for my Air Force for me.
This podcast was presented by the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, who've been telling Oklahoma's story through its people since 1927. Follow them online at oklahomahof.com and definitely on Instagram at oklahomahof. Catch you next episode. Cheers.